Cherry, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Viridian. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Always good to have one of my most loyal followers here. Here, I bless you. Bless you in your roles. Also, as you know, we are returning to Arknights. This time, I don't have all the terrible gacha lag. And Magscab, welcome, welcome, the second most loyal follower. Welcome. I'm glad to have both of you here. I see. Well, I understand. You are probably busy, and I perfectly understand if you might not be able to talk and are dealing with crunch time. Crunch time is never a good thing. It's absolutely never a good thing. I am kind of happy that I don't have crunch time as a teacher, but then again, it is pretty terrible regardless. Still, just it is nice to look at my collection. I really wish that I started keeping this collection here during season 2 because I never collected one. Yeah, I'll basically be playing this on the second monitor for however long you go for. I'll like to still be here. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm always happy to at least have you, and let's be perfectly honest, you two here helps bring up my average. Now I just need one more consistent person, and I should get that oh so tantalizing 3 people average. Anyway, with that being said, let's get started. I almost forgot. Wait, did I? How far did I get in the previous section? Oh no, I didn't do anything. Anyway. Hey, where was I? Ah, yes. Stages. Anyway, as I was saying, I actually went to get a medical examination today. Nothing too major, just an ear and throat thing due to some minor issues I've been having. And turns out I have was referred to as like a perforated septum, I think it's called. Basically, the internals of my nose are kind of fucked up. So I'm going to probably go get a CAT scan to get that looked at, and then get a it's honestly not a major thing. It doesn't really do much. It just means that my nostrils don't breathe as clearly as they should. Good. So it's honestly like a very minor thing to take care of. So no real actual worry there. It's like that kind of thing that is the reason why some people snore, for instance. Or in my case, why it's actually a bit difficult to breathe through the nose because the airflow isn't as clear. So I'm just going to get like get a CAT scan on Monday and then arrange things. It's going to cost money, but it's ordinary, something split in 2. Not critical by any means, but yeah, it's one of those things worth knowing to exist. And the guy I talked to basically just said that it is a very minor thing he does all the time. I just gotta get a CAT scan with it, and it will be a quick, easy fix. And once that's fixed, I apparently should have a lot of improvements, which I am looking forward to. It would be very interesting to be able to breathe clearly through my nose, and perhaps this might result in my voice sounding less nasally, which would be quite the bonus. So, let's begin with the next fight. And let's see, double check. Yep, got the 3 egos in place. Let's defeat these with the power of my lord, the rabbits, the snakes, and Ishmael. Also the roosters and the horse. Kind of very appropriate that we're using the animal people team in this world. Feels fitting to use the animal people team. Yes, let's get down to business to defeat the Seaborn. Jason Seaborn, that guy's new. So let's see. Okay. overall... Oh, wait. When in standby state, does not use attack skills until taking damage. When this unit takes damage once... And start using attack skills starting next turn. Take damage as units began... Ooh, music. Well then. Well then, I'm just going to offset that immediately. And guard. Right. Only Ishmael's actually going to be attacking directly. And once good, he got offset. That's good. Good. So now we go this. What does Hung Yan need? This. Who's attacking that? Okay, you just offset it. No reason to activate his attack. Wait, are you attacking? Oh, you're going to kill me. Like, it's very clear if an enemy has a thing that activates when they're attacked, it's a good idea to not attack them directly. Ah. You foolish Seaborn. I am too Chinese for you to defeat. Activate. You clash this to trigger someone retreat back. One more way this event simulates Arknight. Minimum of 20 enemies to beat. Yeah, it is definitely getting the feeling of how you just get attacked by wave after wave of enemies, which definitely creates the effect. Although, once again, I sort of imagine that this is... This is very much a different combat style compared to the Arknights teams. Because I'd imagine that the Arknights people, the way they operate is a lot more defensive and well, just generally they're not as aggressive as the Limbus team. Okay, I think I activated it. Alright then. Time to go balls to the walls. Call in the chicken. Activate. Chicken mode. I'll try my best to kill the flower first, but this isn't a focus battle. But yeah, I'll try my best to murder the flowers. Okay. I see the big flowers. I'm going to try my best to murder that very quickly. Yeah, to my knowledge, they only counter until you attack them, so you're... And foremost, yeah. Okay, got it staggered. And now you retreat. Now we bring in Rhodia. Yeah. I think they're going to die here. But yeah, it seems that the tactic for dealing with the big flowers is basically to offset their any attack at them. Yeah, so you basically hit them with an offset, and then once they're basically the only thing left for you to attack, or you are ready to fight them, then you kill them. So mission accomplished. Another Seaborn taken care of. Queen of Hatred. I like Queen of Hatred, but she is a bit of a yapper. The remaining entities have all retreated to the sea. Is everyone okay? Okay. It was just like our last skirmish. Sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to sea even before the battle came to an end. And their retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to be just running away. It's almost like they're making a tactical retreat. That's the danger. They're quote-unquote wild animals, yet they're anything but wild. We're doing peachy, but what about the ship? Fow, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capabilities. Phew. So, I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong of course, but I think I noticed how, around the end of the battle, those monsters were starting to go after the manager. Yep, they're smart enough to realize that Dante is the target. You're probably right, actually. I noticed too, at some point during our battle, those monsters realized that it's the manager who's commanding the rest of us, so they're trying to take out the command and control. I sensed the very same. Their movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like that? Desperation? Brainwashing? All of the above? I don't know, I don't play Arknights. That ain't much of a question, innit? They must have all gone mental. I'm sure they have many reasons, but Seaborn are beings of infinite potential. So much so that there's no superlative big enough to properly convey the scale. As organisms, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or a new element, they transform themselves and other Seaborn. Maybe that's their draw? Potential limitless evolution? I can see it, but at the same time, I get the feeling that, well, it basically is the equivalent of worshipping the Tyranids, without Gene Stealer brainwashing. That fascination may be an attitude more befitting a researcher, yet the transformation of fascination into idolatry is, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. Yeah, people go mental and nutso. I find them pretty uncomfortable. He definitely does give more details, but yeah, I can imagine that it gets very complicated. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of whales, and Doctor's race used them like glorified Roombas. Once again, this is a very fascinating setting that if I ever go full-time streamer, I might be willing to give it a shot, and I don't want to deepen my gacha addiction anymore. Then can they adapt to learn a language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything we heard, I think they sound really smart. Mayor's eyes went round as at Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth, surprised. You know, I get the feeling that Mayor might not be what she appears. I don't know why, but she's triggering my sus sensor. You can see it. My side tail's wiggling. That does that when I feel something is suspicious. It sure was something. I heard that there was a Seaborn who could talk. If non-humans speak the language of humans, regardless of its testament to their intelligence, I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. I'll say the guy that started the trouble is on board with the everyone should enjoy being like them boat. I forgot his exact reasoning. Oh, hello Scar over on YouTube. I agree, the mayor is suspicious. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of suspicion going on. Especially suspicious that we just happen to have only one child amongst this entire village. It's like that is not a detail you have unless there's something going on. There are only two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans. The other, to deceive humans. Basically, it's the Freerin situation. Are they an actual species that developed to communicate? Or are they a predatory species that evolved to realize, hey, if I say these sounds in this order and I can get humans to lower their guard around me, I can get them to, well, be ready to be eaten. Nom 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 nom. Yesn't. Yep, I imagine it's complicated. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortions are a different thing, Dante. They were humans who became monsters. Distortions are phenomena in which humans transform into monstrous forms, first observed after the White Knights and Dark Days incident. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Otis's supposition. White Knights and Dark Days. Again, I do find it interesting with these crossovers to see the interaction between different mentalities between universes. It's like the city folk have different ways of thinking compared to these people here in Arknights land. I'll also say that the first to speak is the boss of the first Iberian Abyssal Hunter Seaborn event. I can imagine. She whispered quietly, but as we were standing rather close to her, we all caught the hint of joy in her voice. The pillar of light in the city. Did it really... How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Mayers? Don Quixote, did you mention it? Oh, that's... And here is a facade cracking. Ain't it obvious? We've got the culprit right here, the storyteller lass who's been gabbing on with no end. No, that's not the case. I don't think Don mentioned it. They did not bring this up without... Yeah, she's been talking non-stop all morning about all kinds of stories, hasn't she? But I don't think she'd mentioned that event. Oh, yet I have not gotten that far. You again? You didn't get so lost in your own stories that you blabbed all about our company secrets, have you? Oh, Otis, no, this girl is suspicious. She knows something she shouldn't. I don't think we're the only city folk here. Or at the very least, she has access to city info. Nay, fie, I would simply not. As Don Quixote was subject to yet another round of scolding, Amaya stared out towards the sea, wary that sea terrors might begin crawling to the surface once again, before turning towards us. I wonder which of the two the Seaborns are. Their sense of self is really, really faint, so I don't think that they'd be in either category. Why do you know this, Mayers? Your sus levels are rising rapidly. I think it's possible that they learned human language out of instinct, that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of Seaborn. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what fear for one's survival may yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by any chance, worship the Seaborn? Yeah, I'm wondering, because if the Inquisition murdered her family, then there's a chance that her family might have been part of the cult. I don't worship Seaborn. That is very specific language. I don't worship Seaborn. Seaborn don't have any hopes or wishes, just desires for survival. Miss Mayers, does that mean if Seaborn were somehow able to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? I feel like our city minds are starting to grow suspicious and wary. The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. Repairs complete. I'm guessing repairs are done. Yes, the ship is ready to set sail. Didn't you have a departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail this late afternoon at the earliest. That's soon. Again, I'm suspicious here. Something about these people just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like going to a village and all of them offering you food, but no one eating anything. As you've seen, we don't have a lot to bring with us. By the way, how far out to sea do you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I could see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light's strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere around the coastal waters. So, we can go back tonight. Oh, Heathcliff. Heathcliff. It's not going to be nearly that easy. The first order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Yeah, back to the village for now. It's not going to be that easy, there's going to be complications, and I swear these villagers are suspicious.
또 한 줄 키를 남겼군.
Yep, still got my bone, got all my extras.
세월이 지나면
Grab.
그제야 알게 되겠지.
Grab.
이 홍로가
Grab.
무엇을 바꾸었는지를.
So apparently, I heard that they did some nerfs to one of the fights or something, but they specifically only nerfed the normal mode version. They left the hard mode untouched. If there's another city folk here, they probably won't be friendly. I figure as much. It's okay. I'm about halfway there to the tidal eulogy, where Ishmael becomes Fishmael again. Now, the Inquisitor. Ah, I did not expect the Inquisition. Which makes sense, to be honest. Normal is actually for people that aren't caught up. Hard is for people that beat Canto 8. And if you beat Canto 8, yeah, you are more than ready to fight most bosses at this point. There's something going on in the village. We know exactly what's going on. We didn't expect the Iberian Inquisition. Their key weapons are surprise. Yeah, I heard it too. I'm hearing people shouting and hollering. When we returned to the village, ship repairs complete, we were welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. I'm almost done with the latest canto. Oh, well, congratulations, Scar. I hope you enjoy it. that was quite the playthrough on my end. I think that was the first proper Kanto I streamed, so it was a unique experience and all that. Considering its population, that was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there? Inquisitor. I think we've been found. The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote. The sword and the lamp hanging from her waist sits in stark contrast with the more run-down, ramshackle village. She almost looks like a fixer from the city. Yeah, I can see that. We would call them, lamplight office. No, let me do my voice. He apparently has a deep voice, so...
So, the Inquisition has discovered our village.
Okay. Did you really think that you could forever stay out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen? That's a naive dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under charges of suspicion of membership within the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified right next to pirates in its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw, what a dramatic evolution of your career. But it ends here, now. Every citizen here, including you, will accompany me to the Inquisition.
They have never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind, and they are not like me.
I'm just enjoying giving this guy silly voices. It's fun. They've disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evaded the gaze of Iberia, and found this sodden coast to lurk in. Tell me, I'm not supposed to find that suspicious? What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with a tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. Sinclair, we are super suspicious. We're going to have to fight the Inquisition at this rate because we are the most suspicious people possible. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. Is that so? Then you might find yourselves returning to this village one day, as long as you are telling the truth, which is not an option for you, Fabius. Mayors, was Chief really a pirate? Well, yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when he ran with the pirates, all he ever did was share Fin Beast's jerky to villages, or carry Igarians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayors, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have but one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following the proper legal procedures? I don't know much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Calcit told us that the words of Inquisitors are pretty much the law here. Is it likely that she is following the proper legal procedures? The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from, after all. Yeah? You know, it's kind of funny. The city, for all of its chaos, is a very much a rules-bound location. And it's evil, like, it is an evil place, but it's a very lawful evil. There's laws of the lakes, taboos, the laws of the head, the laws from the for interacting with the syndicates. Everything seems to have some kind of law behind it. So, it's kind of interesting. to think about, no? Then it is decided. Otis quietly dragged me to the side and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. The sinners, who were right next to me, seemed to have picked it up, though. City as a whole is the very definition of lawful evil. Yeah, pretty much. There are laws for everything, and as long as you follow them, you're fine. Problem is that there are laws that are contradictory and make no bloody sense. Executive Manager. We best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. Typical Otis, very much the type of betrayal person, and this is why everyone thinks we're going to betray us. Reminds me of COFD's Geist Kerberal. They enforce rules that seem nonsensical, but they still enforce rules, like the city. Yeah. What? Are you seriously suggesting that we just let him arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seems quite cut and dry to me. If this is just standard procedure with no local laws broken, we are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound that too. But we can't do that. Even if it is standard procedure, even if they're working within the law, it's not... You stayed up to hear the mayor's story too, didn't you? Yeah. Again, it's one of those interesting things where the sinners are good people. Well, some of them are good people. And a lot of them do have actual morals compared to a lot of other people. Some of their morals are still twisted, looking at you, Ryoshu, but they still have morals. You know, the N-Corp Inquisitors were working within the law too. When they came for the village, that was standard procedure too. If anyone had stepped in then... I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take a risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. Like, both sides have a point here. I will try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If I cannot, then I have faith in Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. I can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee that we'll reach the dimensional door without any trouble. Do you know anything about the sea currents in this region? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat, and you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with the ship might be the better option. What should we do, Dante? Yeah, I guess it's kinda awkward for us to just take the ship and go, huh? How about we try to talk to the Inquisitor, then? Honglu? I hope this works, but I think we're going to end up fighting them because, well, we're suspicious as all get out. We're just really suspicious. I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Then, being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get the Inquisitor's support. Optimistic, Amiya, but I see the point. Still, I don't think it's going to work out the way you think. Like Mr. Honglu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's at least see what the Inquisitor has to say. R. Rabbit's right, she says. And see, once again, Ryoshu has her like, morals. She's just also a crazy person. Are you certain that translation was accurate, Sinclair? Yeah, it is kind of outside of her usual wheelhouse. Right? There's no way Ryoshu would choose anything other than violence, right? Well, there's a chance this might lead to violence. Tisk, idiots. It's because the other options are pointless. Inquisitors seen us. We're already under suspicion. She will doubtlessly try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack. Yep, that's Ryoshi for you. Get her talking, then we murder. Pretty sure that's not what Amiya meant. Well, if she's already onto us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. I can imagine going through her head like, what the hell am I looking at? Is that a clock? Did this guy swap his head with a clock? Why would a person swap their head with a clock? And is it on fire? I have no idea what this is. I was wondering what you were doing there, lurking in the background. A clock-shaped head? Are you from the Columbian Union? They're wearing a clock for a head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Columbian Union. What's the Columbian Union? And Viridian, lore drop. What's the Columbian Union? Tick-tock. What? Which language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Columbia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. Oh, okay, so Arknights America. America! I'm going to assume they use a lot of guns. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and an inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, don't just tell her that. 2 days. Wait, sorry. 2 days. All right. Enough of this chicanery. Get out of my way, outsider. The attempt appears to have been made on quite the unstable grounds. Please lend us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. Broke off from Victoria, not England, a few decades ago, has a scientific research firm, has a president who's for life and is actually a robotic bird, but is universally loved. It's the vice president that's elected. So basically, they have a president that's a bird. They really are not subtle with the America stuff. I'm guessing the bird is an eagle of some kind. So, I am Amiya, leader of Rhodes Island. Yes, I'm aware of Iberia's closed border situation. I felt hope swelling within me as Amiya began with confidence. Unlike Sinclair, alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the Inquisitor's quick retort, I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. No, actually. My initial thought was parrot, but not sure what bird he's modeled after. Okay, well, that's surprising. I honestly expected an eagle just to go full on to it. But fair enough. Oh, so not only are we dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have illegal entry as well. Yep, you just admitted to basically smuggling your way in. We had to because the issue demands urgency and... I've been briefed. Brazenly crossing the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent that issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and that chatty mad doctor of yours talk it out. Now, do you know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills? As for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, as he is a fugitive who has fled in the middle of an interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it is a inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the villagers as well. Inhumane? This decision is well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. They've lived for years right next to that high highly suspicious Jaeger, the Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well, to verify whether they have committed any acts of treason against our laws. Also, re-guns, no actually, crossbows and the like are standard in Terra. Guns are the domain of Laterano, the nation where the vast majority of the angelic sancta are. Okay. Any guns are not wielded by a sancta or Terra-born person is either not actually a gun, bought for an exorbitant price and affiliates, or reverse engineered. Huh. Honestly, kind of surprised there. You'd figure that guns would be America thing, but fair enough. And that does explain some angels with guns images I found. This isn't going anywhere, is it? For the record, Arknights gun are not actual gunpowder. Use physical ammunition, but the key point is basically you use your plot rock to fire it. Makes sense. It probably gives the guns special effects. Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by the coast, without the protection of the Inquisition. And that simply cannot make sense. Unless your name is W and you yoink explosives, or you are some idiot savant from Syracuse. Okay. Boy, I think I've heard enough from you. Heathcliff, please don't antagonize the woman. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for what is essentially a failure of your responsibilities? Ah yes, the greatest power in the universe. Money! Aegir is a ocean Jotun in the Norse mythology. He's actually a pretty good Aesir. And as in the Aesir decide to party at his place, and Aegir basically just lets them. Alright, I remember that. I think that happened during that party was also when Loki confessed to killing Balder, which was a bad thing. And now you roll up in here, only to go, they shouldn't be alive. I'm arresting them all. What, are you saying these people should all be dead or something? I am. And there's no way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this. Not for this long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath. As he lifted his bat and began striding forward... Ah, that's it. Lass, if you ever so much as touch the tip of a single villager's hair... Please calm yourself, Heathcliff. We were just about to get into a fight. But Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands off me. I've had enough of her. Continuing to threaten her will cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you know that yourself, Heathcliff. What do you suggest then? We're clearly not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Honglu, please tell me your family taught you some good skills. Please? For me? Pretty please? Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor. What do you mean that people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean, it's literal. Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitability of the calamity. But they look too healthy. The heck? Then shouldn't you be applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship? No, I think I get what's going on. They've been eating seaborn, haven't they? Like, they keep mentioning fish. Fish. And I think they've been eating seaborn, and that does something funky. I am an Inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians of Iberia straight to the gallows, okay? I mean, nothing can go wrong there. Yeah, press X to doubt. Calamities. That's why they have mobile cities. I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise them all fair judgment, whichever way they may be, after a proper investigation. You know, for all the fact that she's an inquisitor, she's coming across as very reasonable, which just makes me more suspicious of these villagers. So stop it with this obstruction of justice. The Inquisitor brandished her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Dante. Without the full picture of the circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of a local political authority. I agree with Faust. Yeah, for all the issue, this woman is being genuinely reasonable. She's not doing anything that makes me think something is wrong or something. I get the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents, like Miss Mayer told us about earlier. I don't think she's anything like the Inquisitors of Encore we saw back in Cole. Let's say Irene was a very unique portrait for a reason. Really, Mayer's the odd one out for being very non-generic despite being original to the crossover. Yeah, I figured as much. Like, she's definitely seems like a pullable agent, if that makes sense. She's either like a character that pops up in story, or she's literally a character that you can actually get as an agent. They were right. We didn't have the full picture of the circumstances. Getting in the way of an inquisitor, who was clearly a rather significant political entity in the area, was most likely a bad idea. Especially, and also the fact that you know her name, that you know her name, Viridian. So, it isn't the Inquisitor's job to answer your questions. Continue to obstruct me, then. As the standoff was showing no signs of ending, Miss Mayers, I can answer your questions, so for now, well, let's do as the Inquisitor says. Yeah, I can imagine that characters do mellow out. It's a classic character cycle where you introduce a character when they're very uptight and they're not used to you, so they lean on professionalism. And then you slowly have them mellow out, get more comfortable, show sides of them that help humanize them a bit. Like say a very uptight character who is the pinnacle of stick up your ass, law enforcement, serious type, and how should I phrase this? And then it's revealed that character's a big fan of a specific very bad romance novel. Irene's pre-second event where she was much more character development. Makes sense. Yet, what of thy grandfather and the villagers? It's alright. I'm sure this is happening only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you'll answer the questions? Suspicious. About the profound silence. Okay, seriously, Roland, why did you sweep through here? I know it's not Roland, but I just like the joke whenever someone says the silence and think Roland stumbled through here in during his massacre, killed a bunch of things, then stumbled back to the city, didn't even realize it happened. Mayer's response to Otis was but a single concept. I don't quite grasp its significance, but it seems to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they called the calamity that destroyed Iberia. Okay, my interest is piqued. I am interested. So, what is this profound silence that you speak of? Okay, combat scenario. Spinning clock. I'm going to assume this is the first time they see us bring a sinner back, because that sounds like what I'd say with... And I'm guessing we're going to be fighting the Inquisitors? So, once again, and let's fight this like a lord shall. Answer me, he shall pack. You. Decades ago, a great wave ravaged through Iberia. Wow, Roland was the first city dweller in Arknight, and he destroyed an entire country. Color fixers really are powerful. Yeah, I don't know how things scale specifically, but I'd imagine that Roland would probably be pretty dangerous in Arknights at least. Like, probably not country destroyer, but I'd imagine at the very least he would be a boss fight of epic proportions. It wasn't long before the Seaborn, carried by the waves, diminished Iberia's brilliant civilization to this. The waves, the profound silence, then must have reduced the village to its current state as well. Is there any reason it's called the Profound Silence? It doesn't seem to be the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like that. It's because the sea went dead silent before the wave came. Ah, yeah, that would do it. Sign of a coming tsunami. Well, you'll see an example of how extra operators and Arknights are shortly. Silence then claimed ships out at sea, then the cities of Iberia, then the Iberians. No one could say a word in face of the ineffable calamity. What are you? No average Iberian citizen could be privy to any of the information you're sharing. I don't think she's an average Iberian citizen. And the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing on the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be Aegir from the sea, delude the citizenry of Iberia, and are sowing chaos in her lands. How do you know this? You are a suspicious child. So that's what they're arresting the Aegir left and right. But that's why they're doing it. I can see the thought process, but... So it's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us. Oh wait, let me do the right voice. Dante. This isn't good. Hearing that seems to have been some kind of taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. The Inquisitor wordlessly stared at Mayers. Her eyes were filled with traces of anger and confusion, but she's afraid. There was fear in the face of a threat. Not the fear of the terrified, no. It's the fear of someone who's suddenly confronted with something they must destroy. The High Inquisitor once told me that, should I come across an Aegir who knows too much, there is a sliver of a chance that they may be of assistance to Iberia. Cease! Thou art threatening the innocent with thy brandishing of the firearm. No, I think that's appropriate. That girl knows stuff she shouldn't. But most are seduced by the allure of the sea. Thus they are, with little doubt, our foes. I've got a bad feeling about this. So do I. And honestly, I'm siding with the Inquisitor here. That girl is not who she seems. Get out of my way, outsider. Final warning. Run! Quickly, on the uptake, Rhodia slung Mayers over her shoulder and ran past the villagers, while the sinners scattered in all directions to distract the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor draws her firearm, and in the midst of all that action, Don Quixote rushed towards the Inquisitor without a moment's hesitation. Yep, that's Don Quixote for you. He charges right in. Don Quixote? Thou shalt go no further. I, a fixer of justice, shan't abide by as thou persecutes them. Forsooth, 'tis a battle delayed, not avoided. This clash in it is inevitable. In that moment of crisis, seconds before this could irrevocably make us a new enemy. Monsieur. Hello, cat girl. Hello, cat girl. Welcome. Welcome. And yeah, I can see a large obsidian crystallization in the shape of a monster burst forth from between the two of them. Yeah, who is it this time? I can... Like, the Inquisitor is probably just having a bad day because she comes here, she finds her target. Okay, I can arrest these people. Pretty cutie girl Monteur. Oh, okay, so the Monteur turns into a cutie. Fantastic. Fantastic. Anyway, the Inquisitor is probably having a bad day because comes to arrest them, then we encounter the city folk, who then encounter the rabbit, which, okay, annoying, but fine. Then our suspicious mayor's girl is suspicious and triggers that, and now this cat girl shows up. Seen us post her? Yeah, I've seen her posted before. I've seen her posted fairly frequently. That's enough meaningless bickering. Dr. Calstit. Dr. Cal. Do you know her? Yes, she's Rhodes Island's medical department's... Behind you. Grrr. Shoot first, talk later, is it? Derived from calcite. Right, if that helps. Yes, that actually does help a lot. The negotiations are over. From this moment onwards, Rhodes Island is now operating within legal capacity on Iberian territory under the Inquisition's authorization. The Inquisitor fired a blast of that firearm-looking weapon, but the monster summoned by calcite managed to deflect it, and the cannonball thrown from the weapons punched clean through the wall of the building we stayed the night in, while punching through several other buildings behind it. Now, that sounds impressive, but Don Quixote was able to knock down a wall by accident. From now on, only meaningful bickering will be allowed. That was enough to instantly freeze the sinners and the villagers on the spot. That penetrated a building. Okay, and remember everyone, when it's the fact that it penetrated the building that's the problem. Because in the city, the law is specifically that you cannot use firearms that penetrate buildings. Well, you can have firearms that teleport through walls. You can have firearms that pulverize everything, but they cannot penetrate through a building. Though their walls may be weaker than the head standard for what counts as a building's exterior wall, to punch through so many is... what a precise point it makes. And of course you're interested in the artist. Now's not the time to stand around impressed. It is a violation of a taboo that have that much penetrative power in a firearm. Yeah, I can imagine. We're not in the city. Don't lose your heads over this. Taboos don't apply here. My head knows that to be true, but my heart finds it difficult still. Well, yeah, because it's basically changing... Kitty, don't... Sorry, my cat touched my mouse. Kitty, what are you doing? No, anyway. It is enough of that discussion for now. It is advised that we carefully observe and grasp the situation at hand, instead of deliberating on a taboo, the jurisdictions of which do not reach this far. Are designed to be very powerful, but it's a good baseline for, well, yeah, Terrans are ridiculous. I can imagine. Again, I do still wonder how some of the higher tier city folk would square up, but it is interesting nonetheless. Yeah, so the situation's gotten slightly better, right? If she's Amiya's friend, she's our ally besides. She's got some super powerful looking prosthetic gear looking thing too. It sort of would, it's more like a stand or something. Is that what you think? I apologize for disappointing you, but I am not on anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination ally might not be entirely correct. Using the different crossover involving IRL humans, a Terran crossbow can barely be strung by a highly trained and fit soldier. Fair enough. I'm guessing the IRL humans, I'm guessing that was like Rainbow Six Siege or something, because I recall seeing something about that getting a crossover. However, if I must define my allegiance, then let me inform you that the closest label would be that I am Inquisitor Irene's ally. Dr. Calcite. Amiya, outsiders. As much as you would like to deny it, the Inquisitor's suspicions are true. While it can be said that the process by which she reached that conclusion was unfair, the conclusion itself, is without a doubt correct. So they're actually connected to the Church of the Deep. Knew it! That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they aren't connected to the Church of the Deep, but they are the Church of the Deep. Perhaps the village itself is a dilapidated church of their congregation. Our village, a church? Just look at our buildings. Where would we even congregate? Your thoughts, Faust? There are not many resources by which we may analyze the decision. However, the fact that Amiya's colleague has made the same argument as the Inquisitor brings these accusations accuse defense into question. Yet I can hardly believe that young Mayors is lying to us. I know, I understand, but I'm suspicious as well. Hold on, you've been chatting plenty with the Inquisitors or whatever. How do we know you aren't aligned with them the whole time? I see. You really are all entirely in the dark. An expected outcome, given that you may be from a place far beyond the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, there is no need for you to know it anyway. The truth is truth unchanging, without the acceptance from an errant group of outsiders. You know, I feel like Faust would... I can see why Faust gets you as the ego, because you and Faust seem like you're the type of people who would enjoy talking to each other. Besides, soon... I'm sorry. It seems that we've mired you in this trouble. Say no such thing. We shall not abide by as one such injustice is perpetrated before our eyes. The village has already been identified by the Inquisition, and the Inquisition has even brought an ally. It seems quite unlikely that word shall resolve this conflict. But we have promised you we will take responsibility for what is done. We have benefited far too much from your warmth and kindness not to do so. The village chief, with a benevolent look, pulls a dagger from his cloth, and I immediately knew what Calcit was about to say. Hey, take responsibility. You don't have to go that far. Yes, kill the sinners. That is going to accomplish absolutely nothing. Time to pull out my brand of bullshit. Blimey. We are now departing for the sea. Yet, as we cannot bring ourselves to leave you here, I must ask ask you to join us for this journey. Become our bloodkin. What are you doing? Stop! The unanticipated, or perhaps I was simply in denial of the rising dread, ambush did not end there. Ugh. Damn it, the Inquisitor was right. Oh, come on. Really, people? Your guard was down that much? Villagers suddenly began shanking the sinners with weapons they had concealed in their clothes. And it seems that they were coming for me as well. Ah! Amiya, are you left? On your left. Amiya materialized a black ribbon-like apparatus, carrying away the dagger flying in my direction. Dante is very good at directing other people to fight. But another villager rushed in, taking advantage of the opening. The charging villager's back made a visceral crunching noise. Someone flung them away. Ah, hello, Skadi. Didn't mean to be this late. Skadi, let me catch you up to speed. I know the situation. This fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. But what about the sinners? Unlike Amiya and I, who managed to survive the initial ambush, the sinners weren't doing so well. At least we had a silver lining in that the Inquisitor and Calcit its quick understanding of the situation and subsequent retaliation led the villagers away from the sinners. How I didn't notice any hostility or aggression. Yeah? What an odd thing to say. Why would we hold any animosity against you? Why would we intend to kill you? We are not trying to hurt you. We are simply trying to give you a form better suited for the sea. Until we were obstructed. I apologize for unfamiliarity has caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big stink about what happened. What's truly unforgivable is that the heretics tried to take advantage of the ignorance of outsiders to flee the Inquisition. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, they killed the people who are, well, they killed the people who are best suited to just shrug this off, because, unfortunately for you, killing us is not how you deal it. You cannot kill us this way. And even if you are outsiders, any lives lost on Iberian soil are my responsibility. It's my fault. I'm sorry it came to this. And don't worry, we die like every other week. What, lives lost? We're still alive, you know. We can shake off a stab wound like... This is most unfortunate, outsider. What? Your friends are either going to die or turn into seaborns. The daggers that stabbed them were laced with the flesh of sea terrors. Once that happens, most die, and the survivors become overwritten by themselves, becoming nothing more than another sea monster. What? That's not a very big deal. Like, yeah, basically, yeah, that's not a very big deal. That is, honestly, that sort of just sounds like mermaids. We've dealt with that before. Everyone is acting like this was it for the sinners, but hey, I should be able to deal with this by turning the clock. It's not that bad. My only concern was that I didn't know what would happen if I tried to bring them back after they're fully transformed into Seaborn. The Golden Bough helped deal with the whale's palidification effects, but I had no idea how it would interact with Seaborn transformations. We should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but what? Yep, it's basically, we should just kill them before they turn. Again, I just love the fact that we can just be so callous and directly murdery with our own people, and it's just going to take them off guard. Sorry to bother you with this, but can you kill my friends? And preferably in the least painful way, you know? Oh, sorry, was the last part kinda too much to ask? Wait, don't give up already. If we bring them back to Rhodes Island, we should be able to do something to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you... Dante, I know that what you mean, but haha, I just can't right now. My strength is rapidly deteriorating since the ambush. It's kind of tingly too, so maybe they should use... They use some kind of paralytic cocktail? I just trust this time, I assure you, that I'm not just giving up on them. But, Amiya, can you understand the outsider's speech? Yes, it's just that they're making a pretty difficult request. They want me to kill all of their friends before they transform into Seaborns. Okay. Just okay. And before we even knew it, Skadi had already decapitated the sinners, none of whom resisted. Yeah, pretty much. This is just... Yeah, for you, this is a horrific last moments thing. For us, this is Tuesday. This happens a lot. And Amiya seemed to have taken aback by how fast Skadi jumped into action. What are you doing? Skadi? Don't let this spook you. This is just how we roll. The clock turns. Oh boy, I can just imagine the world view of these people just shattering from seeing this. Because this is strange even for the city. The decapitated heads crept towards the headless torsos, connecting with threads of blood. The sensation is that of reversal. It feels as though the sinners and I are severed from the rest of the world, rewinding in isolation. Is this rewinding us going back in time, or are we defying the concept itself? Getting very, very philosophical here. The pain is multifold worse than the sensation of straightforward decapitation. The pain is in the heart. And the current of death reverses, I sense, a deep crushing isolation. Their wounds are disappearing. Resurrection, metempsychosis, or time reversal? Puzzling. I have no knowledge with which to interpret this technology. The cost seems to be that pain is transferred to the one who rewinds. Yep, pretty much. Like, I don't know how technologically advanced the Arknights world is, but we all know the city's technology is basically bullshit. Just complete and utter bullshit. So yeah, I don't know how that stacks up to Arknights tech. But that seems too small a price for such great power, though the discussion of whether this can be categorized as power should be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All of my limbs were trembling from the icy solitude. Still, I took a moment to collect myself and ordered the sinners. Variable, but also has quite a bit of bullshit of its own, albeit less. I don't know just what they were thinking, but... Yeah, like, again, the sinners are used to this. Okay, so, this bit here, I saw some people taking clips of this image here, and does everyone agree Don Quixote looks kinda deranged and terrifying? Don Quixote, I think your blood fiend side is coming out for a moment. Because that smile looks very unhinged. I think Don is, I think I know what Don wants to do. She definitely looks like she's ready to, yeah, she's ready to do a murder, and considering these villains both betrayed us, murdered us, and most importantly of all, they desecrated guest rights. Don Quixote, take off your shoes. Not really, but yeah. And I can imagine that Otis is also pissed because, you know, Greek guest rights. It's more advanced in the real world, generally speaking, but it's generally less advanced than the city, which, yeah. We should be able to find out once we take them down. You dare deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Otis is pissed. Prepare thyself, for thou shalt now pay the price for making a mockery of justice. Oh yeah, Dawn is ready to commit a murder. Yeah, you can't just let this slide, you know. Oh, yes. How unfortunate. I had high hopes that all of you would become fine bloodkins. Okay, you know, if I knew this was going to happen, I would have swapped Dawn to Queen of Hatred Dawn. Or, wait, I think she is Queen of Hatred Dawn in this team. I just have to get to her. Okay, so here are the cultists. Okay, so let's see. More sinking, sinking and paralyzed. Well, so they heal SP for surviving allies. Does Rupturous not... Oh yeah, she is there. She's just kind of further back in the team because I want... This team is entirely around attack retreat shenanigans. Let's see. So I'm going to try to... Oh, this is one of these fights. Okay, so what do you do? Let's see. Combat starts, gain shield. See, simulation. If it aspires stacks, thus it escapes battlefield. When an ally, tends to equip with, while it has this effect, they escape battlefield at combat start. Okay, I guess this is basically a case of all the bloodkin. And what does this attack do? Let's see. For every 6 gain. Okay, so I'm going to ignore him for now. You? Which one can you can take that one? You can take that one. Oh, if unopposed attack point +2. Ishmael, deal with this one. Let's get the Heishao speed going. Power counter that one. Let's get our Heishao speed going. You need to... I want to be faster than these guys. Okay, yeah, see, that should do it. And you'll be going, so get going. Okay, good. So you try to turn me into fish. I am going to turn you into sashimi. I'll turn you into sashimi. Okay, good. They're getting the power counters, then they can... Good progress. Of course you jobbed. Of course someone jobbed here. Okay, good. You didn't job. Okay, let's see. Let's face him with the power of the Lord. And you're fast enough, so can you... Neutral, struggling. These guys are gaining sanity. I'm going to have to be smart here. Let's see. Neutral, struggling. Okay, take that out. No, I can't let the... You dominate there, so you can take this one, so it's not unopposed. And Gregor hit this one, and Ishmael attacked this guy. Right, and which one are you attacking? Can you? No, can't do that one. And you're here, so attack this one. Let's take one of these guys down, so we don't have to deal with them. Oh, really? Really? House, do your thing.
Answer me, Hei Shao Pack. Good, good, good. Hey, good, you're staggered. And killed. That's one down. This. Taken care of. Okay, good, you're not jobbing. Okay, now sanity up, back up. Good, good, good. Come on, stagger, stagger. Good. That took care of that, so... did I miss one? I think I missed one when I was looking. I took... Oh. Okay, 2 of them are staggered, so... Okay, he's using an extra attack, so what is he doing here? No, not you. You in the back. Oh. How do you get... I can't... Fabius. Okay, let's see. Okay, no. This one looks breaking and... Alright, so... I have to make sure I take this out. That should do that. Power counter, that's good. Let's power counter that one. You're good at... Thankfully, the Hei Shao has speed on their side, so you can take that one. And... Hey, No, not that one. Oh, that was not a good option. Good, she can take that one. Now, you get bonuses to attacking people who are staggered, so you take that one out. And you can take... not missing any of them. Yeah, that should work, I think. Good, that's... Okay, good, good. That's taken. Good, that's... I think that might have staggered the guy. Oh yeah, that staggered him. That's good. Okay, Ishmael is doing her thing. Another guy down. So Big Boss is staggered now. Ishmael, do you retreat yet? No, you don't. That takes care of that one. No, I don't. Why are you so far forward? That takes care of that one, and... Who are you targeting? Oh wait, does Spouse have defense assist on? I don't think I have... Do you have any defense assist going? No defense assist. This, so we can... Okay. Retreat order, got that one, so... And you get bonuses when you clash, so take that out. Now, everyone else, stack up on the big guy. He's the most important unit here, so let's take him out before he becomes a problem. Okay. Now, let's take him out and see if we have if there's a phase 2 to this fight. One down. One injured. Good. And now... Okay, now is there phase 2 to this fight? Appears not. I think this fight is won. Unless they suddenly pull out a phase 2, I think we've got this.
I think we have this fight. Don't know.
목을 콱 물어버리자고.
Alright, and... Okay. Mission accomplished. Very good, very good.
멋진 활약이었어. 내일도 꼭 불러주기야. 세상이 평화로워지는 건
I didn't have my Queen of Hatred Dawn pop up.
근데
Turns out they were a bit too squishy. Wait, I think they're heading to... He's running himself into a dead end. Are they seeking refuge at sea? Wait, that's where the ship is. That's where they're heading. They're trying to board the vessel Omasas. Wait, but we never told them that the ship was repaired, so how... Ain't it obvious? The whole village is in on it. It ain't as surprised that they'd send someone to spy on us, or they'd know a way to get to the ship floating even if in its broken state. Vessel Masas? Vessel Rebellion de las Masas. That ship is moored at a port in that direction. Wait, it can't be. And yep, there's the ship going. Irene, who was preoccupied with battling the rest of the followers of the deep, who were in hiding, quickly gave chase. But Fabius and the villagers were already aboard the repaired ship, slowly departing the harbor with a horde of sea terrors between us and them. How can a vessel that size become operational this fast? The exterior of the name. It must have been constructed during the Golden Age of Iberia. The Golden Age will return again. I don't know much about Arknights, but that song has been in my head. But how are we supposed to chase that? What if we built a raft and rowed after them? That won't work, Honglu. Mate, come on. Sea's full of sea terrors. It won't get very far before it sinks. Do you see something, Amiya? You keep looking in that direction. Oh. They have another one they put out in the recentish event with thorns. Okay. The vessel Masas soon disappeared into the mist, and the village was left empty with nary a sign of people ever having been there, as though this getaway had all been premeditated. Leaving only mayors. Okay, girl, you are suspicious. Like, why do you know stuff? How are you... We know these guys were Church of the Deep cultists, but yeah. Still,
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다.
still,
우리를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니
it's a very interesting situation,
떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
and I'm just happy I've been getting some stuff. So Malfaust did most of the damage there, which is expected on occasion. How much of this stuff do I have now? Do I have enough? So close, yet so far. The three-way agreement. Ooh, a three-way! Joking, joking. Or am I? No, I'm just joking here. But still, it is definitely very interesting, and especially in terms of how these things operate. Damn it. Can't we take any ship to go after it? It's a research vessel. It can't possibly be very fast. This will be difficult. Even if it is a research vessel, I'm sure it was constructed during the Golden Age of Iberia. No average ship can keep up with it. Which is a problem because I doubt we have any ship that can travel at the same speed. We only have a few vessels left, which are all anchored too far from this location to be a feasible option. You know, this is the kind of situation I kind of wish Karen and Mephistopheles would just roll up. Do we have any recourse? No, not unless we can identify the exact location of the vessel. Faust? Please tell me you installed something. Which is the real problem. We can find ourselves a ship to go after them, yes, but most eyes of Iberia, the lighthouses, were lost during the profound silence. Wait, when you say most, do you mean that there's some left? Just one, as far as I know. The one in Gran Franco, but that lighthouse cannot be used at this moment. There's another. Oh, how do you know this, Mayors? There's a lighthouse you can use. Wait. Ah, the portal. Really? Are you really going to give me one of the villagers... Give one of the villagers the benefit of the doubt? Yet young Skadi hath already confirmed her to be safe. All I confirmed is that she's whether she's a Seaborn or not. Can't know if she's a cultist. 'Tis true, yet... Once we saw that Mayors was left all on her own, we decided that to have her accompany us at all times and keep her within Irene's eyeshot. We couldn't possibly blame her for what happened, given Skadi's confirmation that she doesn't have anything to do with those sea monsters. Besides, they'd all left her behind. But Irene still seemed to harbor a bit of suspicion. The problem with Aegir is that she simply knows too much. Where could she possibly have gained access to all that information? See, she can't even answer that question. I'm going to assume she was just listening in on things. Or maybe the grandfather? Who knows? But let's think about it this way. What if we were to ask her what we don't know? The location of the lighthouse, for example. They're ticking rapidly. What did they say? Dante says that we should approach it differently and ask her what we don't know, like the location of the lighthouse. That seems like a reasonable suggestion to me. Or does the Inquisitor have an alternative solution to this conundrum? No, but... Fine, let's hear it. I won't interrogate you about how you have access to things that not even an Inquisitor doesn't... us Inquisitors don't know. That even us... Okay. At least not right now. Faro Mar Urto, Dead Lighthouse. That's our village name. Somewhere a little ways off from the coastline, there's an intact Eye of Iberia on the sea, though it was almost destroyed when the profound silence swept through. Off the coastline. Is it not connected to the land? I think it used to be until it sank. We should be able to procure ourselves enough wooden material from the village to build a raft. Is it near enough for a raft to be the means of access? The weather's not great today, but it should do. It's not very far from the coast. Even you're going to trust that Aegir. I don't see why I shouldn't. I understand that Iberia mistrust of the Aegir is quite profound. Yet such sentiment is hollow to the rest of us. Yeah, I mean, to the rest of us, we kind of don't really know that much, and for the Rhodes Island crew, the fact is that they're the altruistic type. They're the heroic people. Inquisitor Irene, what did you feel when you saw the Rhodes Island operator? If you're talking about the Catus, nothing in particular. Other than slight annoyance when she accused me of being inhumane. So you didn't harbor any hostility or disgust. Not that you would have felt any sense of sympathy or empathy either. I thought, I have no history of feelings for or against the Aegir. Such must be the same for the outsiders. What's she on about? She is conveying that, in matters in regards to mayors, our opinions are more objective than Irene's. Finding the vessel Fabius commandeered will be of benefit to all. Limbus Company will gain an opportunity to return to the city via the dimensional door, while Rhodes Island will have the chance to study it at a closer proximity, and the Inquisition will gain possession of the vessel in which the technology from Iberian Golden Age is contained. What, you're going to just hand that over to the Inquisition? Why should we covet what was once Iberia's? Honestly, it's a pretty good deal all over. Everyone gets what they want, we all support each other, everyone leaves happy. Win, win, win. Now, let's just see how things get fucked up. While there certainly are aspects to that vessel that draw interest, I already have a state-of-the-art masterpiece known as Mephistopheles. Basically saying, yeah, I already have something way better. I don't care for that ship. As long as that can be guaranteed, I see no reason to refuse. Irene eventually agreed to put her trust in Mayers. We are in luck, Executive Manager. It is quite fortunate that our interest aligns exactly with that of the first strangers we encountered in a strange land. Luck is right. Imagine if we were back in the city. It would have taken them like 4 free distortion hunts for us to come to an agreement. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry about having to saddle you with this, Miss Mayers. Please lead us to the lighthouse. Okay, happily. So when you said almost destroyed, how almost destroyed is it? I heard that the light faded from the lighthouse a long time ago, but the shape still stands. At least it was when I saw it a few months ago. If the lighthouse is in an inoperable state, we're going to need an expert technician to get it back in working order. Faust? The technology it's based on is completely divorced from the popular application of Originium technology. So I doubt there is anyone out there who can work it anymore. Then you needn't worry about that. We have Faust. Faust is bullshit. Here we have an engineer and a researcher who are geniuses even among those in the city. So we should be able to manage most mechanical failures. Today is just revelation after revelation, huh? Pretty much. Don't you think, chat? I can imagine that Faust and Yi Sang are just... Those two are just bullshit geniuses, to be perfectly honest. I do wonder how they would stack up with the geniuses of this setting. I'm imagining that they'd be pretty high considering that Yi Sang invented the mirror and Faust is Faust. I can vouch for Limbus Company's skill. I can also work on the simpler tasks. I've learned a thing or two helping out Gramps. Stuff about the lighthouses and various tech stuff. Well, then should we all head to the lighthouse together? No, I'll be leaving the group for a moment. Amiya will accompany you instead. What? After all that, you're just going off on your own? Yes, to join the Doctor. It is imperative for the successful execution of this mission. Of course, that hinges on Amiya and Skadi remaining behind here to assist the rest of you. Thus, I will leave it to the rest of you to take the Eye of Iberia, the lighthouse, back. Wait, what do you mean take back the lighthouse? Is there someone or something out there that's taken over the lighthouse called the Eye of Iberia? A likely supposition. Amiya, what did the manager of Limbus Company say? They're asking if the lighthouse has been taken over by something. Not a bad intuition. Yes, there is a high likelihood that the structure has already been overrun by sea terrors. I don't know about overrun, but I've encountered them a few times when we approached it too closely. Normally, this is hardly enough personnel to attempt a raid on the lighthouse, but... Answer me this. Are there any limitations to their revival? Yeah, basically, normally this is not enough personnel. This would be the type of situation where we require multiple operatives, multiple teams, a tricked out team, and probably would have a decent, probably in Arknights term, have multiple stages or something. In Limbus company terms, let's kill and be killed. We can war of attrition this easily. There is no restriction as long as Dante, the manager, survives. However, do note that battle efficiency depreciates with prolonged battles due to more mounting mental stress on the manager. Yeah, I can imagine. And I can imagine that she does this a lot. No need to change the plan then. Amia, use this communicator to alert me as soon as you are able to identify the coordinates of the vessel from the lighthouse. If luck would have it, we should be able to reduce the time it takes to complete the retrieval mission. Okay, as long as you're not taking everyone with you, if it's just her who's leaving, then go ahead. I think we should be fine too. Then let us commence our mission, Vessel Massas Retrieval. Righto, step 1 of the plan's the raft, right? Let's get on with it. It's done, let's go. Okay, you're efficient, Skadi. What? Why are you looking at us like that? Is there something bothering you? Must you ask? Just look at how proactive and quick she is to jump to action. Certainly lives up to the image of an employee working for a large corporation. Yeah. Let's see. What? Alright, if only I knew more Epic the Musical lines, I would probably make a thing with Otis when she's on screen. Thanks, Otis, for that charitable view, I guess. Thanks to Scuddy, we had already finished the first step of the plan. We were able to move to step 2 immediately, which involves fighting sea terrors and sea monsters and all that. I'm making good progress here. Making good progress with... So yeah, this is fighting sea terrors again. And... Hey chat, should I use a different team? Should I use a different team, chat? I have other teams. Do you want me to use like my new bleed team? Obviously I'll just swap in the egos to make sure I get the bonuses. Or do you want me to use a burn team or the tremor team? Maybe fight sinking with sinking? Or go full envy charge and let Don Quixote do her thing. Say that for a certain boss after this counter. Your team ain't the best idea. Yeah, so Rupture team might not be the best idea. Let's go with bleed for a time. Let's see how this goes. Just need to swap in the ego to get all the bonuses. Then let's see, Hong Lu and Gregor. Welcome, Viridian. Welcome back, Viridian. We are just about to go with a combat scenario, and just for fun, I'm swapping to my bleed team because I want to try to bleed these fuckers out. Yeah. I know. Bleed. Burn. No, wait, sinking. Okay, I'll do burn next. After a while of carefully sailing on Skadi's raft along the coastal cliffs, our gargantuan shrouded lighthouse emerged from the thick mist. Eye of Iberia. Even in its dilapidated ruined state, touches that are at once monumental and sensitive are apparent on the exterior of the lighthouse. Some even call these lighthouses guardians of Iberia. It retains the grandeur of the era, as was built during as it was built during its golden age. You really know everything, don't you? It is as she said, but now, these lighthouses are nothing but graveyards of countless inquisitors and soldiers of the penal battalion. No one's attempted to retrieve a lighthouse has ever survived the expedition. Can you please not say scary stuff like that, Miss Irene? We are literally about to walk into one. Don't you ever quit chirping? What are you, a foul beast? Stop yapping in my ear. Why is this one such a coward unlike the rest of you outsiders? I'm not a coward. I'm just voicing my... He did just say some pretty concerning stuff. How long do you think the repairs will take? Its exterior is rather heavily damaged. However, from what is visible from the outside, its interior is still intact. With Miss Faust's expertise, it should not take very long. Yisang suggested with a smile, but Faust maintained her silence for the entire journey to the lighthouse, probably on Faust's cord asking for assistance, and said something pretty concerning in response. Of course, my wit remains unmarred, even in such uncertainties. The currents are pretty wild. Someone's going to have to stay behind and keep an eye on the raft. We can't just leave it here unattended, but I don't know if we can carry it either. I'll stay here and protect the ship. Interesting bit of lore with this. While they do work as actual lighthouses, their proper function are, well, computers. Yeah, basically it's, basically these are navigation systems, I'm guessing. You sure you can handle this alone? I know you're strong, but maybe one or two people to stay behind just in case. No, don't need them. Sea terrors will swarm the inlet if I go with you anyway. So, this has nothing to do with you. So what she's trying to say is that she's worried about you not having enough people to take on the lighthouse when she can handle this area alone, which is why she is okay with staying behind alone. Thanks for explaining. Some people just can't help but do an extra hoop, I guess. Well then, let's trust her. We'll be back, Scotty. Luckily, we didn't run into any sea terrors on our way to the lighthouse gates. The problem was that the gates were bound shut by strange bluish tissue. Reminds me of that L-Corp branch back at U-Corp, though that one was white. There's also heavy implications lighthouse was some kind of defense weapon, given certain statements and how getting them back is a bit of a mission for the Inquisition. I can imagine. And maybe they fire special beam cannons! Boom! Or something else. Who knows? I don't think I can do anything to force it open myself, so... Guys, can you pry open this door? Boy, move over. I'll pull to the right side. You grab the left and... We'll all pull together as 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Something off here? What are you doing? The door is firmly secured in place. This flesh tissue regenerates almost as soon as it is torn. Perhaps you will need to tap into a wilder form of art to get this open. Well, what now? This strange flesh tissue is sea terror. It reacts to the lamp, but it's grown too much to be affected by it in any meaningful capacity. Yeah, Seaborn come in many forms, I guess. Scotty might be able to open this door with her incredible strength, but... Should I go fetch her? But, I think she's already fighting off the sea terrors from sinking the raft. So, we're all on our own. Maybe there's an identity card or ego I could use to get through this. So, which one? Let me guess, this is how we canonically get the unit ego. Huh? Just as I pondered a familiar question, a faint, black glow came into view, then devoured my sight. It's not intuition or inspiration. It's different from those sudden flashes of realization. And it's not the star of that day. That, I think, is from time to time. It's not the horrible door that I see every time I turn back the clock either. That formless black space in which I am not permitted to see. A faint note, a whisper cuts through it. And through the opening, I see light. I reach out to the opening and see Skadi, born from a very, very warm gaze. Skadi? Oh. I love the ocean it sounds. They're just fantastic. Powerful imagery crashes unto me like the waves. Skadi, the staggering dancer wielding a blade. Skadi, who flaunts her flowing locks. And Skadi, the singer, humming in a low voice. Beyond the fringe of cognition, Skadi's existence has become engraved. Sinner who can wrestle and control the oceanic tidal power is... Dante, are you alright? I'm good, and I don't think we will need to send for Skadi. Huh? What? We have a Skadi of our own. Hey, Ishmael, I've never... Come on. Come on, reconnect. Reconnect. Okay, we're back. Give me a second to check to make that everything else is working. We should be back. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Internet, I think something happened to the internet for a second. Let me check the... Okay, yeah, the YouTube is still working. YouTube is working properly. Okay. Just a minor disconnection moment. So we're back. Yeah, although I think that might be because of something jostled the Ethernet cable. Anyway, everything's back to normal. No issues, no problems. And all is fine. Yeah, I'm going to blame Kitty, although I think Kitty's sleeping at the moment. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know how much you missed, so we just got the Skadi ego. So, whatever it is, seems to me our manager's found a solution. Her confusion is short-lived. She lets out a careful laugh before stepping forward, boldly twirling her mace once. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Get corroded? Look away, for the waves will carry you out of your element. Yep, haha, fantastic. And cracks on the lighthouse are growing. I think she destroyed the door instead of opening it. Sorry, didn't think it'd be this strong. Well, the door's open. What are we waiting for? And once again, I can just imagine the thoughts running through the locals' heads. No, I mean, what? Just what was that? The part where you... What? The part where I suddenly changed into a different outfit and equipped a different personality? Yes, that! It's just technology we use. Ahem, that is... This is most fascinating. That an ego could be drawn here, in lieu of the mirror of Mephistopheles. I think I connected to Amia's subconscious mind. There was this strange, unfamiliar light, and I saw Amia's emotions attached to her memories and experiences, so I reached out to them. My subconscious mind? I just had this feeling that it would work. Sorry about peering in without asking first. But I didn't see anything other than things about Skadi. All I needed were memories and emotions that can be used to understand the being that is Skadi. It's okay. I also have experience with gaining powers from others' memories and emotions to overcome difficult situations. Of course, the mirror is sort of relying on Dante's perception. Yeah, pretty much. But there's the theory that the mirror is basically... that the whole thing with the mirror is the fact that things change based on our perception, which is how we get impossibilities like Hierarch candidate Ishmael. How the hell would that work? Did someone give the mother the bolus of the sassy European woman? Maybe that's how you were able to draw something from me as well, Dante. That is the most appropriate assumption, especially in a situation in which delving into its principles is impossible. Yeah, more impossible when they didn't do anything. Well, yeah, they were also pretty impossible. Oh, as well, it's... Although, to be fair, the Bloodfiend one technically could be possible if you just moved up the timeline. But I guess what you mean. So that's called ego. Her eyes are sparkling. It's kind of cute. I'm still suspicious of her, but it's cute. Verily, of course, Limbus Company's ego is quite distinguished from the other kind of ego, which are bloomed from within oneself. That is enough. No further information is to be divulged to outsiders. Yet it matters not whether young mayors and young Amiya learn of this. I agree with that fool this time. The Inquisitor used an artillery projectile that penetrated the outer wall, several of them in fact, of a building. And the head did not pursue her following that breach of taboo. This is clearly not the city. Ain't it better to let her talk her heart out than to hear her moan and whine about not being able to say anything? I am convinced. Do as you will, then. Faust's reply sounded almost sulking, but Don Quixote immediately began to expound upon ego to Irene and Mayors anyway. Again, I'm interested, if this was a canon situation in Arknights, I'm interested in how that would influence things, or what the characters would think of all the city nonsense. But everyone was too busy to pay attention to her, as the wet, slithering noise from a distance put everyone on edge. Can we do that later? We've got some cleaning to do. So there were more sea terrors past the door. I think any sea terrors from the sea are all converging around Skadi, which means our only roadblocks are sea terrors still lingering around the lighthouse. Let's go. Let's take this lighthouse back. Okay, so from my limited exposure to Arknights, I have seen some vampire-coded characters. Are there vampires in Arknights?
메이저. 아니야. 마이너 아르카나도.
Oh, it's one of these types of situations.
조심해. 마이너라고
So
해도
don't fight that guy,
잘할 수
kill
있으니까.
everyone else.
내가 응원해줄게.
Yeah. So if... Okay, interesting. So all of our cat people just sort of turning into vampires isn't like too out there, right? And it's powerful enough, 9% of people just straight up dissolve into blood pools. Okay, yeah. Ooh, that is terrifying. Take that. Take that. Oh, that's a 5 speed. Who are you attacking? Let me make some adjustments here. That's a 3 speed. You take out the 5 speed. You can get your gaze and contempt on these guys as you develop here, and you attack this guy here. And let's go.
고귀하게
These are now bring it deeper just to throw it. Again, the city has a... Yeah. I can imagine this, that, like, Arknights has its own bullshit. I'm mostly just curious in these sorts of ways. Did you have to job Ishmael? Gaze and contempt. Okay.
방금
Good.
멈췄어.
That.
너희들의 사랑의 힘이, 빛의 힘이. 저 어둠
At least
더
there's no
앞선
stupid eggs on the
아르카이트를
field yet.
기울였어.
Yeah, true.
이대로면 승리도 시간 문제겠지?
Yeah, and this guy only goes active when you attack him, so... So I'm just going to ignore this guy because he's not a threat at the moment. And what is this? Nether Sea Founder. What is your special nonsense? For all affinity resistance, generates Nether Sea brand in out use territory next. Okay. Gotta take that guy out quickly. So I'm going to throw you at that. I think we've seen all the sea terror that are in the event anyway. Yeah, I figure as much. As they probably don't have... Obviously, they can't give us all of the types. And there's only so much they can do. Okay, let's hit that. You get that, and I'll throw the extra attack on this guy here. That's Gaze and Contempt.
그쪽도 죄인인가?
Okay, good so far. I think we've seen all... And Q and Scab during PTSD from the creep. Yeah, I can... Yeah, I now that I saw that these guys are the rune setters, they've become high priority targets. Nether Sea brand as it's properly called. Let's use the power of gun. But yeah, I can imagine that the Nether Sea brand and all the other nonsense can get pretty dangerous. Let me guess, in Arknights proper, that you had to do some careful positioning and do stuff to prevent the enemy from getting on the brand. You could probably reread the status
있잖아.
if
사실 마법
that
소녀들은
random
항상
brand being
운명만을
set.
시달리거든. 너희만 괜찮다면 혹시 우리를 도와서
On top,
아니야.
take fixed damage, put
그건 선택의 순간이 필요하니까. 내가 정할
Please.
순 없겠네.
fans towards center territory, cast in turn. Okay, I see. So, it gets set and... Hand of... What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Let's see. Warns in active state vows that whenever Sea Brand appears in the battlefield, this unit becomes... When this unit's HP drops, Hand of Saint, remove all... When this effect triggers, becomes inactive for the next turn. This unit running from skills main unit, and it may become inactive. It removes all the effects. Okay, so basically, see, when Nether Sea Brand becomes a thing, I hit this thing in order to dispel it. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. What about their passive? On top. I don't see any Nether Sea brand though, so I think I might have done a good job here. So I'll throw 2 at you to make sure you die. Let me spell it out there. Oh. 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 I see. Yeah, I'm not beating the Limbus company players cannot read allegations, I see. I'm not beating the we cannot read allegations, it seems. Apologies for that. Apologies for that. In my defense, it is fairly late into the night, so I am not thinking as clearly as I probably should be. Oh, darn, you had to trigger it. Well, it's going to happen eventually. Like every time.
벗어날 수 있다고 생각했나? 이번에 네 피분수?
Gaze in contempt.
원더풀한 선택이었어, 나리! 저들의 약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군.
More enemies.
이따가 보스에서 회고해야지 않겠는가?
Don Quixote is powered. And you're contempted. Good. For record, once set up, brand just keeps spreading. The only way to block it is to put a melee op on a square, prevent spread. Okay, so now the seed brand does sound like the most annoying mechanic. Branding her nervous impairment buildup, which does exactly what it does here. So I'm going to that's gaze and contempt. Gaze and contempt. I have to not kill that guy as much as possible. Brandon Kerr's nervous. Gregor, you're the tank guy. You're going to just tank that attack so I don't have to deal with him. And you take out that guy. When the event release, they weren't a lot in terms of elements. Healing. I do believe so. You basically just had to keep healing ops and hope they didn't die faster. Yeah. Ryoshu, really? Okay, I think he might have killed the guy. These are. So I at least have the power of gun and anime. So Ryoshu is pretty good for these longer fights with many enemies, because Gaze and Contempt keep just sort of spreading across the various types of enemies and foes we're fighting. Plus, we're doing pretty
여관에 가면 또 한참을 떠.
pretty good. And now I killed them. So how did?
또 늘었군요.
There's the Nether Sea brand. So I'll just I'm just going to toss Ishmael. I'm just going to toss you to kill this thing, so I don't have to deal with that. Now, let's see. This person. Okay, no, that's a hopeless one. You have favored. Good. You can dominate that one. You can murder that guy. You can fight that one. You can take out that one with this, because that lost turn. My strat was basically use someone that's otherwise be on a stun hog. Works surprisingly well. Makes sense, makes sense. And this one's going to go through to the tank, so it doesn't really matter.
고귀하게.
Okay, taking.
추잡하네.
Another one bites the dust, and another one down.
꿰뚫려라.
Although I am so now it's got rid of that brand, and another one pops up.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
Gregor, use the new ego. I want to see. Let's see. I know it takes time to set up, but regardless. Here's Gaze and Contempt. Gaze and Contempt there, you can get some stuff for murdering someone. Yeah. Let's counter that guy so I can get more memory. Counter that. You can dodge around his attacks, so he can just keep the stuff from happening. But first, use some clash, so it's not great for a crowd. Yeah, I figure as much. I'm guessing that the second use is going to hit hard, though. Be awed. Well, that one's dead no matter what. Don't fear the absence of brilliance. Okay, I won't. And just stab that guy. Miss, miss, miss. That said, the statue you're building up is great for Priest Gregor specifically. Yeah, I'd imagine to see. Wait, see, how's this work? For
상담은 나중으로 하지.
see,
그럴 여유가 없군.
every stack 8 gain 1 aggro. Yeah, that's fantastic. Gain 10 stack can can gain up to 20, so 2 turns. So I want to get up to 2. So there's this stack, and next turn I'll have... Perfect. Dominate and murder that guy. Murder that guy because they're in the... And death transfer. I hit hard. Take that guy out. I take that one. That guy's gonna die regardless. Take that one. Who are you targeting? Yi-Sang. That's actually kind of good for me. See. Born memory. Yeah. Born memory, this guy. Just give this guy once and go.
산소류 경혈 온 라샹. 끝을 낼 시간. 대만찬에 집중해.
Darn it, he staggered. Thank. And you take care of. Really?
또한 용서할 테니.
So now you take this guy down. We're almost to the point where I can activate the ultimate combo of shooting my own guys.
저들의 저항이 생각보다 거셌네. 하지만 마음이 꺾이지 않으면 이 위기도 극복할 수 있을 것일세.
Okay, Gregor, how many stacks do you have? So you have 21.
그럴 여유가 없군.
Every and have gain up. How many stacks should I let her rip? Should I let it rip? Should I let it rip this time? Let it go? 21 a good number, or should I hold it on for a bit longer? What do you think? I really want to see what it does, and I have a feeling it's going to do a lot of damage when I do it. But I don't know if I should let her rip, or if I should hold out a bit longer for the stacks to build up. Let me set everyone else up when I'm at it before. Okay, that guy died. There's Contempt and Gaze. That guy's good. You can dodge around that. Yeah, I can wait a turn while I have Gregor do his thing, because I want to see it build up a bit more. I want to see how much oomph I can get out of it. The festival will end. So that takes care of that enemy, and the thing about the Blood Fiend teams is they're pretty good for ramp up and attrition fights as well. Darn it, I'm not gonna get a chance to use it. That's unfortunate. Oh well, what can I do? That's just how it goes sometimes.
그건 선택의 순간이 필요하니까. 내가 정할 순 없겠네. 아쉽다. 그치?
That's just how it goes sometimes, I suppose. But that's fine, because I guess I get to do contempt and all. Because this guy is, yep, he's in contempt mode, so that should trigger the upgraded version. Hit hard, and then that should... Yep. And that takes care of that. Shoot her. Mission complete. Now that was an interesting team combo. Oh. Definitely I don't think the Blood Team Fiend is the most effective against the Seaborn, though. Feels like there is just not something missing. Like it doesn't quite hit the mark most of the time. Could just be me, though. Could just be me. And of course you're the one that dealt the most damage. You get so many free attacks in this. So of course you're the most damage here. Still, is that enough? Yes, finally have enough to get the Ishmael Skadi. Kind of fitting. Kind of fitting that I got this immediately after this point. Do you think they probably timed that? Because chat, I'm fairly certain they likely timed that, or at least did the calculations. Still, this is good. This is good. Let's see, what are they weak to? Gloom and this. So let's go to this team now. Once again, gotta just swap in the event egos. Swap in that. Let's see here. Swap you in. Swap you in. Swap you in. And I think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all of them. So now let's go with the Tremor team. Yeah. This is exactly why I level up my units the way I do. Want to make sure everyone is nice and powerful. Plus, it means I can just swap in teams and try things.
어떤 상황이 닥쳐와도 포기한... 이건 못하겠습니다. 너무 유치하잖아요.
What the hell are these things? Nethersea Spewers. Let's see. AoE attack, so... That's an annoyance. AoEs. Oh, this is important. Nethersea brand. Attack designates the closest enemy is as main target. Select sub-targets in front. Top of Nethersea brand designates... Reverse all coins. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, don't hit that guy. Take out that guy. Flash counter that guy. Power guard that guy. Fight that guy. Shoot that guy. And... Focus fire. Fire that guy. Okay, that should do it.
각자의 위치가 있어.
One guy down.
방금 뭘 본 것인가? 엄청나게 강한 일격을.
That guy's taken out.
너희들의 사랑의 힘이 빛의 힘이
Ishmael got your defense
저
going.
어둡고 악한 아르카나들을 뒤흔들었어.
Okay, yeah, this is proving to be effective.
우리도 시작해주겠지?
Proving to be pretty effective. The damage is good.
시간 징수 집행.
And now Dawn goes fast. You have your gun ready. Okay, so now the real fun begins.
이따가 버스에서 회고해야지 않겠는가?
You can take this. Dawn goes fast. You can take that out. As you can, I'll spread the damage to that guy to you. Now hits there, gets more stacks, and make sure this guy dies. Okay, go.
한바탕 해볼까?
And yeah, that's how that feels nice. Feels nice. Yeah, this team is definitely doing more against them than the previous team. Probably mostly just due to Affinity's miscombinations.
해냈구나. 나라도 그랬을 거야.
대검의 머리가 쪼개지지 않았을 텐데.
Oh. Wait, why do you attack that one? Oh well, I'll just take it out quickly.
여관에 가면 또 한참을 떠드시겠네.
Some-
바리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
Okay, it's here. Yep. Okay, so you can actually attack this thing. You will be able to attack it, so and you're the tank, so take that down. You're going fast, take that guy down. That guy's going to die regardless, so I can ignore him. So you can take this guy. You can take that guy out. You're designated blocking that guy. You will put some more damage to that guy to make sure he's down, and like take this one guy, get us more. Go, go, go. Extra speed gives us damage, and now we take this. Not just. Good, you'll keep going. Did you seriously have to drop that, Ishmael? Another one down.
나리의 속 깊은 뜻을 본인이 헤아리기엔 쉽지 않나 보네. 본인에게는 그
That one got killed by fire.
만큼의 말솜씨는 없지만 그대들의 수심을 최대한 위로해 보겠네.
Well, this is. I know this is probably not the best idea, and that there's high chance it might hit some things I might not want it to hit, but I have to. I have to use the big attack. It's too epic not to use the big attack. You're designated blocking that guy this turn, and you can just hit this. You can just hit this guy to make sure he's hurt. Support your boss. Okay, progress being made.
원더풀한 선택이었어 나리.
힘들고.
내 약점이 뻔히
그러니
보이는
알아서 잘 피해야지.
You know, I don't get to use some of these big super moves a lot, mostly because in mirror dungeons I kill a bit too quickly. Still, it is satisfying whenever they go off.
최선의 방어를.
Although it is never satisfying when you have a super move go off and then the character just doesn't hit. It's like, you know, they...
있잖아. 사실 마법 소녀들은 항상 인력난에 시달리거든.
Where are they targeting Ishmael.
너희만
Ishmael needs to get to a defensive stance
그치,
anyway.
우리가 도와서.
Power guard that guy down.
그건 선택의 순간이 필요하니까 내가 정할 순 없겠네.
Gotta make sure none of these attacks go through. Okay, still good there, still good there. Attacks go through. And you can continue hitting this guy. Go. Okay. But there are a lot of Seaborn. I get the idea that they are meant to be a lot of them, but boy god, they are a real horde. I think next time I'm going for the next fight with these things, I'll swap into my. This might not be the best idea, but I'm going to swap into my Envy Charge team and just go to town with Don Quixote and Rhodia.
제이의 거슬기 편하게 가자고요.
힘 조절이.
Good.
여관에 가면 또
Okay, another one I have to be a bit careful of. Can't accidentally
다리에게
attack
해줄
it this
이야기가 좀
time.
늘었군요.
I am hidden. Can you hit? Okay, you can block that one. That saves me a bit of effort. Dawn needs to. You're taking over blocking duty for that guy, Dawn. You need to activate your borrow time anyway. You're taking that guy down. And not touching either of those guys, so you take that one. And you take some extra. You spend some damage attacking that guy. And Claire, you hit this guy here. Go.
명령에 따르겠습니다. 그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어졌어.
입이 다물어지지 않을 정도의 일격인데.
Alright, now I'm out of bullets with that him. I am so close to finishing this, just need to render this out and then work done. Yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
기차 동정은 필요 없겠죠.
Work is... can be such a pain sometimes. I understand that. I've done it. More of those guys. Okay, that guy's basically dead, so I can... How many enemies are left? Oh, you got... Let's see. More. There's still tons more left. This is a real battle of attrition in a way. Your small attack will probably deal a final bit of damage there. Damage there, and... You'll hit hard here. Out here, you'll take that out, you'll take that down. And you two are once again on the duties here. I think I'm doing alright. I'm using defensive skills correctly to deal. I don't know.
해볼까?
이것밖에 못하나. 그렇게 서 있으면
Yeah, he still slaughters even without bullets. Another one down. That one's taken care of. And now we just gotta take this guy.
방금 전에 위대한 일격을 기록하는 중이라네. 이따가 버스에서 회고해야 하지 않겠는가?
I think these are the last of them. So I'm going to abandon not attacking these guys and just going to go full bore, full hog and murder everything. Full burden, full hog, just murder them all. Let God sort them out.
해보겠네.
이것밖에 못하나.
Another one taken care of, and I didn't want to attack that one just yet, but it was going to happen eventually, I guess.
시간이 의뢰했다면 힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘
방금 전에
피해야지.
위대한 일격을 기록하는 중이라네. 이따가 버스에서
Okay,
회고해야 하지
so
않겠는가?
don't have any of the new ego ready, so let's just do this the old-fashioned way. Now that take care of those two. Let's just unload everything we've got on this big guy. Well, almost everything. You can take care of the little guy while we still have a moment. Okay, go.
해보겠네.
So I think this should take care of... There, okay, now it's staggered. That makes it easier next turn. And now Sinclair has a special technique. It's called Bullet.
하여 추진. 자.
제압 완료.
And then
여관에 가면 또 한참을 떠들지.
then there was a big damage from that spiking. That's fair.
우리에게 해줄 이야기가 또 늘었군요.
That one dies, and everyone sends everything we have off to the big guy because he's the last actual threat.
위험 인물 발견. 제압할게.
전탄 격발.
And as usual, you hit like a truck.
베이에 거스르지 말고.
힘들군. 그러니 알아서 잘 피해야지.
Hey, Ishmael hit him hard. Come on, we're so close. Oh, there. Never mind. We'd already done it. Mission complete. So
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
it would
내일도
appear
꼭 불러주기야. 세상이
that team was
평화로워지는
good,
건
but it started
기쁜
running out of steam near the end. Let's
근데
try
내일도
burn team, because that's just
지금처럼
the more
조용하려나?
time that team has going, the faster, the more it will start to murder them. So maybe that'll help. But then again, we have killed. Actually, no, wait.
나를 들뜨게 만드는 일은 많지 않지만 이번엔 그 귀중한
Okay.
경우의 수에 들어맞아.
So only a few more levels to go.
잘 놀다 간다. 회수하지 않은
Let's
탐피.
push forward a little bit more. The Fable Knight. Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be some kind of boss fight, so... Envy charge. Swap around the egos. That. Then... this. Then Scotty. And then... Gregor. Got all four. And now let's see let's have Dawn take the stage.
빨리 시작하시죠.
In the name of justice, here comes Magical Girl! There were more sea terrors than we expected near the lighthouse, but thanks to Irene's lamp, light of which paralyzed their nervous system, paired with the rather narrow passageways, we were able to handle them without much trouble. Yep, Magical Girl! Also, as the control room was, unlike the exterior wall, mostly undamaged, Hal shared the good news that the repairs most likely won't take very long. Yi-sang was right. Fortunately, the inside is barely damaged. How are you progressing, Miss Faust? It is almost complete. We best prepare to leave. Then I'll radio the doctor. Let's... A tremor shakes the building with a loud boom, and debris begins to fall from the ceiling. The lighthouse is precarious floor suddenly collapses from the shock. The floor's giving way. What's going on out there? Something rammed against the Isle of Iberia. I see all shattered through the ocean's surface, the sheer explosive force turning water into mist. And it is charging at us once again. As Yi-sang noted, I saw the shadow of a dark figure through the ruptured outer wall of the lighthouse, charging ferociously at the ruined structure. The figure looked a lot like one of those knights of the city's western region Don Quixote would talk at length about. The lighthouse might crumble at this rate. Then we have no choice. We have to stop whatever's out there. Faust, stay here. The rest of us will descend the lighthouse and... The lighthouse is almost fully functional. It will only take some finishing touches to have the light shine again, which I can handle, so I'll stay behind. It seems entirely unnecessary to leave the rest to you. I would very much rather leave it to Faust, who is an expert. I've read about the Seaborn before. Fables and legends say that he is the last knight, and if those stories have any grain of truth in them, you're going to need all the hands on deck to even have a chance at stalling it. You better prepare for a few days of interrogation once I bring you into the Inquisition. Your decision, Executive Manager? All hands on deck, leave the lighthouse to Mayors. We have to stop. We have to put a stop to that night somehow. Well then, Knight, meet Magical Girl. Waves crest high and violent behind the spear-wielding knight. We have to protect the already precarious lighthouse against the knight. The knight begins to charge at us, his steed splitting the very sea, and I instinctively know that this isn't going to be easy. Hey, you know, Limbus as an entity, he shares a name with a sinner. One day, wheat grains he planted did not sprout. One day, he stopped feeling the scent of life between his breaths. Thus he rides against the currents, hunting after waves. He seeks the waves, reproaches them, and eventually brings about their destruction. Faint memories, having blinked through Amia's fathoms, flash before my eyes, and the seaborn knight wields his great lance against surface sea terrors. You imagine with Sinner vibes with... He shudders as though with repulsiveness, but he does not stop. You obstruct the progress, obstruct and cover the lands. This is impermissive. This is the land. The knight and the sea terrors don't necessarily seem to be on the same side. Perhaps diplomacy might be a solution. Yeah, no. Otis, you have the highest chance. We are not the sea. We are not its waves. The knight's great lance falters with doubt. Okay, so my current off-the-cuff feeling is that this is supposed to be Don, like a Don Quixote situation, but that's just because knight and a lance and all that. Waves are the only thing that hold any meaning for him. Knight's great lance falters with doubt. Offense level down.
모두 직접 숙지시켰으니 당연한 결과다.
敵の調子が悪くなっているみたい
I
です
don't think that you're doing so good. Okay, so what the hell am I fighting here? So skills, clash power for every enemies with cold. Cold, let's see. Use once per stack. If this unit has 3 stacks, I take... then gain turn next. Cold stacks expire after all effects are activated. If this unit does not attack, turn end. So sometimes I have to not attack this guy in order to not gain cold. And so I mean, cold, main target has cold, so and it can't deal 50 and damage and deal. Enough by the skill cannot stagger target. Don't know what these are yet, and let's see. In haste, clash renews SP. You clash. So it's heal SP. So, and this guy's a positive SP here. Okay, got it, got it. When hit, inflict cold against the attacker. So, one gain. If this unit has low morale, halve the amount. If the unit is staggered or panicked, does not gain. This unit takes damage that brings HP down. Nullify that damage then, and gain a new pattern once per encounter. Hive Mind. You know, this... Okay, so So, Knight. O ye Knight, thine who hath wandered far and lost much. Let me grant you what thine seeks. Also, while Lord Hunger's works, his fair skill ruins. Yeah, this is the anti-counter